What's going on? Welcome to Asian Cosell. So, got one here by Charlie Kirk here, and this is a real crazy one. A mass cracker almost passes out when exposed for radical racism. Yeah, this dude, I don't know what the hell is up with him, but let's listen in and let's see how Charlie just kind of let him have it. So, here we go.
Nice to meet you, Charlie. I'm a big fan. I think you're very beautiful, man. I admire you physically. But I did have a question I don't find very interesting about you. Something I find kind of repulsive is that I believe you said the Civil Rights Act and that we shouldn't have that.
Okay. Well,
Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't like you as much as Charlie, though.
First of all, what's your name?
Sorry. I don't want to be like filmed and stuff.
Too late.
Number one. Anonymous guy.
Okay. Well, hello. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. You too.
Yeah. I part of the essence of the Civil Rights Act went way too far, way too wide.
Oh, how did it go too far?
Well, for example, it created an entire civil rights leviathan that gave us affirmative action.
Civil rights leviathan? What do you mean?
Yeah. So if you can let me finish three words in.
Sorry.
It allowed the Department of Justice to go after people that have different skin color, aka white people, and prevent them from getting jobs in college admissions.
You have a job.
I'm sorry?
You have a job.
No, you're right. I do. Right. But just until Trump came around, until these first Supreme Court decision, thanks to the Civil Rights Act, if you have white skin color, it's much harder to get into a college than if someone has black skin color. Much harder. You have to get higher test scores. It's a much harder pool, largely thanks to the precedent set by the Civil Rights Act, not to mention all the trans stuff, and they use the Civil Rights Act to justify it.
Okay, I think I see where you're coming from. So you think that it's harder for white people because black people, they can have lower tech scores. I get it.
It's not what I think. It's the fact.
That's what you're saying. Okay. All right. Well, I guess what I would say too, I think perhaps you're familiar with the term equity, right? Where different people have different, whether you reject it or not. I think it's a prescient concept in this argument, because what you have to understand is that when you're, for example, you're born in like a black neighborhood, you're born in like O Block or something, like a very if you're born there, if you're born in a very poor area like that, with like very low economic activity, very, very poor schools, or very low ratings, where the average test score is much lower. When you're in that environment, you have the whole system up against you, right? So when you say in that kind of circumstance, when you're facing the whole, I guess, leviathan of systemic racism, so would you say that's sorry, let me just finish it. When you say it's fair to, for example, lower the standard because knowing that their circumstances were like that perhaps based on what they had was presented to them, they had the correct amount of merit to get into a school.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say I'm fine. Wait, you mean
I want you.
Like tell her or like
no,
give it to her?
By force.
Like
so
we're swapping it.
PA, I'm going to give it to a woman of color.
Okay.
You're cool with that?
I mean, yeah, I can just go. Like,
there's no work.
My
getting back.
Yeah, so Charlie's like, yo, give your GPA to that woman of color. And your GPA is zilch. You're screwed, white boy, right? That's what you want to say? But you don't like that, do you? Hey, white boy, see? That's kind of, messed up, isn't it? So kind of think there. And you don't even like me to use that term. So here you go.
That's the point of conservatism.
I'm going to keep on taking it from you because that's equity. And you're cool with that.
Equity is applying the equal standard.
If you give, how do you get? You must take, and then you get.
Wait, what do you mean?
That which is getting taken. A set number. Let's say it's 20,000. So somebody that's a woman of color can come in, and therefore it's harder for you. So it's a higher bar for you, lower bar for them. Definitionally, that's a redistribution of test scores to somebody.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, so what
Dude, what is up with this guy? Okay, we said take your GPA away. Let's lower the standards. So you, as a white male, said, let's go for equity? Okay. You want to play it that way? Oh, by the way, give reparations to all the Black Americans, right? Okay.
when you say that, if you do that, then well, Black people aren't going to get into school, and then they won't be able to uplift themselves. They won't be able to have prosperous families. They won't be able to, equalize the economic status, because you need to give them a little jump start. You have a car, right?
How is that? How is that? Oh no! Now I know who you are.
No, that's good.
No, how has that worked the last 40 years? We've had robust affirmative action.
No.
We've had hiring practices. Has it made Black America more successful?
I can answer that easily. It's because sorry. It's because sorry. What am I going for? Oh,
I don't know.
You're a funny guy. So what happened is, even after the Civil Rights Act, you know what I believe the term is massive resistance. It was a movement in after the Broad versus Board of Education in Virginia, where essentially the legislature, which was still white supremacist, which is still extremely racist, they decided that no, we're going to do everything that feasibly possible within our means to stop Black people from going to white schools. You even see this in I believe it was the Little Rock Nine, right? Even after it was legalized at the state level, white supremacist mobs still mobilized to prevent it. So even if it de facto it's gone, de jure it still exists.
Let me ask you a very simple question. A term you keep on throwing around.
Got you.
What is racism?
What is racism? Ooh, that's a very complicated question. But
no, it's not.
I mean, there's a simple answer, and then there's the highly theoretical answer.
Give me the
simple answer. Will essentially be because we have
practice.
It's discrimination
based on the color of the skin.
Based on the color of the skin. Yeah.
Got it. Thank you. So isn't it racist then to penalize white people to come into college or to get jobs based on the color?
Well, no.
Would that be racist? So you're racy, which is should actively discriminate people based on the color of skin. Well, it's a action in DEI in practice.
I just disagree with that. They do like anti-racism because
you'd be racist against white people.
No, bro, I'm a cracker, bro. What the? No, you can't be racist towards white. Bro, there's so many crackers here, bro. There's your clip, bro. There's your clip.
Values guide how you invest your money and save for your future. With Monorail's Patriot Portfolio.
Okay. Sorry, we need to move forward. Oh.
Making me scared. Okay.
So let me tell you what we believe, because you tell us what you believe.
Okay.
Your worldview is indistinguishable from the KKK. That you want to organize the world based on skin color. We want to organize the world based on merit and character, based on how hard you work, what you bring. It's just and wrong to say that people have their future set based on the color of their skin. I think it's tribalistic. I think it is divisive, and I think it hurts the excellence of a country. You asked a question, well, how are we going to help other communities? You know how you help other communities? Stop pandering to them and start treating them like individuals made in the image of God, not tribes to be organized for political purposes.
Okay, so do you think like when Trump is now he's president, now that racism is gone now because Trump is back, we're no longer pandering, right? Do you think that the conditions of Black people, do you think O Block is going to become like a much nicer place? Do you think that these sort of Black neighborhoods that have been sort of left behind, do you think they're going to become revitalized? Is that what you think is going to happen?
Yeah, they'll do better.
Okay, dude, this is like the scary part. Is this what college does to some of these guys? Come on. you're still playing this victim mentality. Oh, and this is, the time where I've gone to like bars in South, I'm here in South Korea. And there's times, man, I just like, sometimes like those feminist women, like she said, like a couple of them said, black people are so oppressed. And I'm like, what? I didn't even want to get into argument because if I get into it, I'm going to like lose my ass with those chicks. But man, this is just the stupidity of what he's learned.
For sure. You think do better? Now that we've stopped helping them, they're gonna do better.
That's an interesting thing.
Because it seems like to me just on basic logic.
Well, actually, black Americans under Donald Trump in the first term saw the greatest economic renaissance that they saw since the 1950s.
You don't think
highest
that's due to
wage
Obama,
increases, lowest unemployment, revitalization, amazing investment in their communities, opportunity zones.
But that's when we had affirmative action. So wouldn't that be bad?
Well, again, we actually got rid of affirmative action now.
But
it's going to do
was
even better.
now, but I'm talking about before.
Those are unrelated things, though. Just
you
to be
think
perfectly
they
clear.
don't seem unrelated to me?
Well, affirmative action
policies addressing racism. They
affirmative action is again.
So I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you.
No, you are. That's okay.
I'm sorry.
Affirmative action is largely federal government hiring practices and the adjacent institutions. I think that all communities, we stop living under the bigotry of low expectations. Inherent in your argument is that we have to pander to certain communities based on the color of their skin because they can't do as well as white people. I reject the premise. I think that we should try to say, I don't care about the people based on for one group and harder for another group.
I don't think it's pandering, though. It's understanding.
Okay, but let me, do you think that have black-only dormitories in America?
No. Why would I want that?
Okay, well, there's hundreds.
Not allowed in.
White people are not allowed.
White people.
Yeah, they are. I think, what is it? Even like Arizona state has like their own place of like color. And because if you remember years ago, a couple of the ladies went up to a couple of the white guys that had like, support the police and stuff and said, you're a racist and, and yeah. And this is our place. Yeah, and we have them at some of these universities. It's amazing.
Exactly. Correct. We have black-only graduation ceremonies across the country.
Yeah.
Well, those are from well, I believe those are most likely like HBCUs, right?
No,
like
the University of Michigan has one, Yale has one, Harvard has one. So we're agreeing that is wrong. For this extension of hyper race, you can choose one or the other. You can be race obsessed or merit obsessed. We as conservatives decide to be merit obsessed, to build a country based on how hard you work and what you're able to deliver.
Okay. Well, so wait here. Just I wasn't
final point.
Yeah, final point. Sure. Okay. Here, this thing's a little close. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean. I'll just restart. I don't believe you mentioned like black dormitories, right? I don't know. To me, I'll be benefit of the doubt here.
It's very real.
Okay, but I just think it's very irrelevant, kind of like aesthetic focused thing. It doesn't really affect the material conditions of like black people.
If you heard there were white only dormitories, that'd be more.
And all black one was. So if that was brought back, okay, if we were to do an all white dormitory and
I'm not recommending it. I think actually segregation is wrong and evil, and we're heading until Donald Trump. We were heading in that direction
yeah, and of course, speaking of the Civil Rights Act, the act alone was just to disallow segregation. Disallow just the basics, but it's gone to the extreme because here's the thing. As we integrated, you know what happened? A lot of the black schools didn't have black teachers. They did not immediately integrate the other stuff. So there's even some of the other issues there. And then, of course, I don't want to get into this, but the Great Benefits Act. So that's another issue. But let's finish off the video.
Okay, I'll go back to, because I let it slip by, but you mentioned that like in the early years of the Donald Trump presidency, right? That the conditions, the employment and stuff are going up for black people. What I would say is the economy works slow, works at like a time dilation that actually led to that, and not the Trump policies, because stuff like tax cuts
I
for
just
the
love
rich
it.
doesn't really help.
In a year from now, we're gonna have the greatest economy ever. They're gonna say it's all Biden. It's all Biden.
Well, I mean, I don't think I do, but I'm pretty certain it's not gonna happen.
What about Elon? What Elon's doing bothers you? Do you not want to see the government efficient?
The government is racist now. It's just a Nazi haven. It went from like a pretty accepting place to like.
Dude, Trump got kicked out of Twitter, wasn't it? Are you kidding me? And anything we said censored us? Really?
The Nazi salute. Like, we're not gonna forget about that, are we?
No, he didn't.
What do you mean? Y'all didn't see that clip, right? Y'all see when they did that?
All right.
Oh, okay.
And by the way,
Yeah,
I just want to thank you for something.
You're welcome.
Well, I want to thank you.
Do I get a portion of like the TikTok revenue you get from this?
I want to thank you. I want to. You are a perfect reminder
I
why
got
we
my
won
Cash
in
App,
November.
though.
So thank you for that. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep. That's right. You're the perfect reason why. Yeah. Yeah, we're fed up with it. Now, let's go down to the comments real quick. There's a reason why they hide their faces. The problem with that, boys, he's never been slapped for being an obnoxious jerk. There's something wrong with this guy. His behavior is just disturbing. Yeah, I think it's so disturbing. Let's go down. The ignorance of today's public university student on display. Let's see. Yep. Just your average white guy born in San Francisco. Yeah. Yeah, and of course, when I was when I actually did go to the foreign bars and had to listen to some of those white liberals, and where was she from? I was like, oh, Berkeley, UCLA, UC Irvine, all those universities in California. Yeah, so there you go. But yep, again, you're the reason why people voted for Trump. We're tired of the fatigue, whatever fatigue we're dealing with. So yeah, and shout out to Charlie Kirk for this video. And if any of you enjoyed any of this content, please give me the HKL special. Help the king out. Hit the like, subscribe, and comment. And wherever you are, stay safe. And I'll see you in my next video.